said you can't go home. Real Estate Exposed, brought to you by Signature Real Estate. Real Estate Exposed is all about helping homeowners and those who would like to be homeowners and those who would like to get into real estate.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Real Estate Exposed. I'm Vandana, one of your co-hosts. If you are watching us, you're doing so live on Facebook.com/realestatex. And if you're watching us after the 9 o'clock Friday morning time, you're probably doing it on YouTube. So do not forget to
like and subscribe, and make sure you smash the notification button so that you can follow us every time we're on. Damn, I got it down.
That was the first time you did that.
I know.
So I already introduced myself. That right there was Shelly Panzarella, my co-host. She is the branch manager for Prosperity Lending. And who the heck is in the middle? This guy, we can't get rid of him. I show up late. He shows up in my seat. Brandon's not here. He's like, guess what? I'm going to just put on these headphones. I'm going to fake it.
Yeah, Tom Blanchard's taking over the world. Taking over the world.
Tom Blanchard.
I'm just a seat filler, like at the Emmys, right?
Fluffer
Somebody
or filler?
No, not a
Filler?
fluffer, a filler.
Filler.
A filler.
What's a fluffer? What's a seat fluffer?
Okay, anyways.
I normally would go there.
So I'm gonna, yeah, I'm well aware of that. So I have a joke I want to start with. Are you ready?
Okay.
Buyer asks, "I'm thinking about buying a house. How's the market?" Agent says, "Remember back in May when you were trying to find toilet paper? It's kind of like that."
So true. That's a meme.
It's a meme.
It is a meme.
It's not
right?
a meme. It's just a.
It's a joke?
It's a joke. Is it not? Did you
It's
not
the
laugh?
truth, actually. I don't think it's a joke. It is the truth.
So with that, let's go to
Right,
market
Tom?
stats. What do you think?
I'm being quiet.
The market's hot.
Tom,
The market's on fire.
It's
on fire.
It is amazing.
We were coming in hot. It's so on fire. It's so on fire.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, how can imagine what's been going on throughout 2020 and now going into 2021, having such well, it's on fire because there's a housing shortage.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for.
So let me ask
It's
you
like
this.
toilet paper.
Yeah, we can't find any.
We can't find any.
Oh, I can't find my phone either.
It's okay. It's not an iPhone. It doesn't
so
matter.
how do you think that this Biden 15K credit's going to affect the shortage in?
Oh, it's going to help it increase it more. Houses are going to go up. I mean, there's no end in sight for houses.
Inventory, houses,
No,
pricing.
pricing. Sorry.
Pricing.
Pricing.
Thank you
gonna
for
go
keeping
up.
me on track.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure our audience knows that we're all about making sure that we do the research and provide them with the accurate data.
Well, let's
Every
say
time.
why we think it's accurate, because who is Tom? We forgot to complete our intro of him.
Nobody.
He's this guy. He's this guy who keeps filling our seats.
Thank
No.
goodness he's around.
Tom Blanchard was the
This is gonna be
president.
hard. This is going to be hard for you.
I know. Tom Blanchard was the president of the Association for Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Realtor Association. He is now the past president. However, he is on the executive board and going to be president of the state association.
In
So he's vice
2023.
president.
2023. Yeah. Fun fact, he actually sits on the legislative management team with me. How was that meeting yesterday?
It was
Exciting?
Hard. It was
It was
hard.
hard.
It was
Why?
hard. I mean,
I wasn't there yesterday because I was teaching a
oh,
class.
you weren't. So let me just tell
Did
you.
you hear me?
No. And I just there wasn't much to say because there's such those bills are so dark, right?
Yeah.
Dark?
The kind of stuff that they want to do is
How does a bill be dark?
Well, because what they're doing is they're attacking homeowners, right? And they're attacking primarily landlords. That seems to be the big. I know, Shelly. They hate you.
Why?
They
It's
hate
so
you there.
Goodness.
I
We're
know.
Already in,
Well, we talked about this last week too. I think one of the biggest problems is that landlords of all, like multifamily, single family, it doesn't matter, commercial, they all get lumped into one bill, right? It is landlords, period. It is not single family landlords. It's not multifamily landlords. It's not commercial landlords. It's landlords as a whole. And that's the hard part about these bills, is that they're unwilling to separate those categories. And when they're unwilling to separate those categories, we as the residential side get lumped in with, for instance, when you talk about landlord tenants, with the slumlords that are truly managing multifamily and are being horrible to tenants. And so that's the examples that get utilized when bills like this are introduced. I wasn't even there, and look at all I have to say.
Well, and
Maybe
here's
a good thing.
The thing, because like there may be a bad player out there that maybe taking advantage of certain situations, like payday lenders, right?
Yep.
Using the court systems to try to collect through small claims court and everything else, bogging up the court system. And because of something like that, you end up having the legislatures try to help alleviate some of the court pressure by limiting the amount of times that you can go back to court in a year.
Yeah.
So it's an issue.
Well, and we're talking about taxes increasing as well.
Yeah.
Which I think has been on the board every year, every 2 years that we're in legislative session. They'll try to slip it in there. And of course, working with some of the other folks that have associations is important for us to fight some of these bills. So that's a good thing. But I have my
When you're talking about
insurance
taxes,
agent is
you're
calling
talking
me
to-
because I got pulled over, you guys, on my way here.
Oh, so
But I didn't have my
was the
insurance.
cop good looking?
He was. I didn't have any insurance. And because I didn't have insurance, he was like, I need a copy of your insurance. And I said, I'll get it for you. So I had to text my insurance person. She's calling me now.
You
It's okay.
have insurance. You just didn't
I
have
have
your
it. I
card.
just didn't have the card.
Yeah.
And so he's like, all right, well, see if you can find it. And I'm like, okay. And then I was looking and he's like, did you find it? I'm like, I'm texting her right now. And do you know why you got pulled over? I'm like, because you like my car?
That wasn't the answer?
No, it wasn't the answer. For years, I got away with not getting tickets. For
You
years.
got away with it?
Yeah, I mean, they would
Or you
get to
just
the
didn't
car.
Was
Was it pre-mom body
So
or
cute.
post-mom body?
Listen, you jackass. Have you seen my post-mom body? Not today. But post. You shut your mouth right now. Does it matter?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Tom, and this
Anyways,
is
back
I'm
to
between
this
two.
one.
I'm
Back
between
to
two
the-
women. I got to try to survive this.
also
whole
two
thing.
mothers, you
Yeah.
jackass.
And her mom watches. We need to be.
And my mom watches. Exactly. All right. So stats. You want to talk about stats? Or do we
Sure.
still want to talk about me getting pulled over?
Well, yeah. How fast were you going?
I wasn't.
Well, you had to be
He
going
okay,
somewhere.
so why did you get pulled over?
Because he likes my car.
Get out.
No, I don't know. Well, the funny thing is when I pulled my car over and I put it in park, my door opened automatically and he was like, ma'am. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it does it on its own. Sorry, that was loud, audience. I
What kind of car
apologize.
do you have?
Tesla?
It's okay.
Look at his face. You
Yeah.
should see his face. Just turn.
What, can you
Tesla.
pull more video up on this? I'm just
this right here. And so he was like, man, I'm so sorry. It does it automatic. And then I was trying to find my insurance, but I had my old insurance cards and I can't see them because I can't see up close anymore. So I
Another
have to do this whole
post-mom
thing.
body issue.
So I'm like, you shut your mouth right now. So I tell him, I was like, I can't see anymore. And he goes, what do you mean you can't see anymore? I'm like, up close. I can't see up close.
so she got pulled over because she can't see anymore. And
Oh, no, it was because I was driving fast.
Oh.
He says I was doing a 52 and a 25.
Oh, that's expensive.
that would have been a take you
That's-
into the.
But he clocked me in at less.
Oh,
Only 5 miles over the limit.
what a good
Which is
officer.
officer. Yes.
Officer.
Officer.
It was because, I still got it. He also did not get me for being on my phone while I was driving or.
Did you have your seatbelt on?
I did. I did.
Because the car automatically puts the seatbelt on.
It's got it. I mean, the door opens automatically. Why wouldn't the seatbelt do it?
Nor did he get me for, what was the other thing he said? Oh, for not having my insurance card. And I was like, well, I'm sorry. I go, I usually have it. I just don't know why it's not in here. And he goes, it's fine this time. He goes, but, it would be a real problem if you were driving that fast and had an accident. You would need it. Like,
No, you
thanks.
wouldn't.
Happy Friday.
It is the end of the month.
And then I told him
Quota.
I was doing a podcast and he should listen. Go to realestateexposed.com
Oh my
/real
Make sure you
estate.
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe that
The
shit.
notification button.
You're in real estate?
The like and
Mark, it's
subscribe.
crazy. I'm like, you want to buy a house? Here's my card. All right. So
Running a mile
moving
a
on.
minute here.
I know. Let's do stats, you guys, really
Let's do
quickly.
it.
I've talked enough.
Reel it in.
So here it is,
Yeah.
me talking more. We're at new listings 688 for the last 7 days. That's actually down a little bit.
Down.
Yeah, because it was like in the
Yes.
700s last time. But it's not a huge amount of numbers that are down. I mean, I feel like we're flexing 20 to 30 listings here and there. Did you bring your
Tom's
stats?
got data here.
Oh, I got data about what buyers want most from real estate agents.
Oh, we don't talk about stuff like
Ooh.
that.
And it's like legit.
So-
it's actually
Yeah, I know, right?
a chart.
I know. A real,
It's got color. We might want to talk about that.
We don't need all that research. We don't do that here.
Oh, okay.
Did Brandon not tell you? We
No.
don't do
Wrong
that.
show.
I just thought I'd bring like real stuff. But
That's a
you
cool
guys
topic.
go
I
ahead and
like
wing
it.
it. Go ahead.
All right, wait. Before I forget, in the comments, if you're listening, tell us, have you ever been pulled over? I want to know. What was the last time you got pulled over?
Speaking of cars, because we always do this for our guests, we always find out what the first car that our guests own. So, Tom, what would be your first car that you ever, that you can remember? I know it's been a while, but what would be the first car that you own? Not that you own, that you got as a kid or a 16-year-old. Or back then, I don't know when they actually gave
They gave cars.
My first car was a Model T.
A Model T.
No.
It was a Ferrari.
I can't remember the name of Monte Carlo or something like that.
Monte Carlo?
Because it was the one with rich Corinthian leather.
Wow. Not one. That's what your parents gave you?
Yeah.
Wow. Fancy. What color?
Brown.
Brown. I feel like
with,
that was like
brown with a light tan roof,
upgraded.
two-tone.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
the two.
The two-tone did?
The two. The
What?
brown rich leather is
The rich Corinthian leather.
Corinthian.
Oh my goodness.
And
Gonna have
I
to check
used
that
the
out.
heck out of that Corinthian leather in the back seat.
So with that, our new listings, 688 new listings on the market.
Your wife is probably listening.
Back to the stats.
Yeah, stats. Sold. 836 properties have sold in the last 7 days. I
that
was
up
one
or
of
down?
them.
Wow.
Woohoo!
You sold a
exciting.
house last
Listen,
week?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
This week we sold a house.
Yes, we did.
You and me both together. It was a joint combo. The least expensive home was
Least?
least. Let's start with the least. I think we should do that.
Last week was 18,000. I was actually. I'm going to go with 22. I'm going to go with 23 because that's my number.
You're 32.
No, that's the other way.
That's the other way. Got it.
Oh, let's go 19.
19.
19 grand.
$54,000.
What?
We're up on our
Moving on up. What was the days of market?
Oh, on that one it
An hour.
was
An hour.
24 days.
Really?
That was some. Yeah.
Oh.
Inside job?
Oh, you want all that info on a
Where was it
$54,000?
actually?
Oh,
54,000?
Jesus, goodness gracious, Shelley, this is
I mean,
You're going
you
to make her really reach
throw
in
it out
her
there.
back.
Miles
Spring Mountain in Arville.
It was a house?
It was no, it was a condo.
Oh. Cool.
Condo, and it took that long because no financing or hard money loans, cash only.
Money. Cool.
Cash only. Why no hard money loans? Why do they do that? What's the purpose?
Probably because they don't like the house.
I don't know. Money's money.
Money's
Yeah.
money, right?
You
know,
I mean,
there's-
hard money loans is cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it not?
It
When
is
you write
true.
it up in an offer, is hard money loan not cash or is it a loan?
Does it say no
It's a
hard
loan.
money loan?
It's a loan, but
It's
is
a
it cash or is it a loan?
Well, all
It's a
loans are
loan.
cash because you need the cash at the end.
I mean,
True.
But it's how
true.
they just didn't want you to get a loan.
Where
for
you
the
get the
place.
cash is the difference.
yeah.
If it comes for your personal checking
I'm assuming
account
it-
or a
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming there's no rhyme or reason. All right, highest price.
3.2. What do you got, Tom?
She always guesses 3.2. One day she'll get it right.
I know.
You
What's
did
Today-
3.2.
Today is not that day.
Look,
the odds?
this is like the what's the show? You do the pricing. Price is
Price
right.
is Right.
Yes.
Right.
You're going to go
You got
higher than me,
3.
though.
No, I'm going to go lower. 'Cause I
Well,
don't want to go over.
You know what?
It's the
he's
highest
right.
price
You know
show.
what? He's right. I think what we should do is moving forward is I should tell you what area it's in, and then you can guess. It was Canyon Greens, so Canyon Fairways.
1.65. And I have that contract.
Nope.
1.592. I have that contract too.
Nope.
Forget it. I don't got it.
2.3.
It was 3.4.
Ah,
So close.
you were right
Well,
there.
I was right there.
Right there.
So
Dude,
close.
no, that's fake.
Almost.
Wow.
Fake news.
Fake news. But it was in Canyon Fairways. It was not a inside job. So
Pretty
there's
house.
that. So that was it. That's our stats.
Man,
Everybody
the
good
one
with
time
that?
I could have won.
One time. So
You
close.
switched me up.
I didn't. I just told you where it was, and
I
you
know.
clearly don't know your area.
I do have a buyer that purchased in Canyon.
Just kidding. You do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Canyon Fairways? Canyon Greens.
Canyon Fairways.
Fairways, yep.
Nice area.
Somewhere there. Yeah,
It's
old
beautiful
school.
in there.
Nice area.
So that's it. That's all I got. I mean, I have a lot of stuff to talk about. I've just been fascinated with what's going on. But you want to do your stats?
Yeah,
now?
I
Finish it?
wanna-
go
No,
ahead.
no, no, no.
My
Finish-
stuff doesn't matter.
No, you do
It
it.
does.
No, I mean,
You're right. It doesn't, but still do it.
I mean, you know,
Tom,
I
we
mean,
have you as a guest on our show. We'd really like to
Well,
know
you're
what
treating me
information
like
you have.
a normal person. Thank you very much.
Well, you are filling in for
Yeah.
B-dubs. BR.
So I did some research, right? And was looking at 2020 in review. and tried to figure out, how many transactions we did that we closed, on average, per month, how many were sold, current active on the MLS and stuff, and figured out what the actual absorption rate or how many months supply we have on the market. So all of 2020, and you've already seen the numbers, so I can't even
I'm
ask
not
you
looking.
to play Price is Right.
Did you? What
She
part of
can't
I can't
see.
see?
Oh, that's
did
right.
you
You
miss?
She
can't.
got a
So
ticket.
I might as well leave it right here then. So, month supply on the market for the full year of 2020. How much of a supply do you think we have?
Full
Did we have
year.
on average?
For 2020.
Yeah.
So you figure you had about 1,000 that sold a month, maybe 11,700.
What do you think? The monthly supply on the market for the 12-month average.
41,867.
No, that's wrong. You read the wrong line.
Shit.
Cheaters never
So,
prosper.
now think about it, right? Because we've had less than 2 months supply.
Okay,
most
so
of the year.
we taught our audience how to do this. So if it was all the sold properties, we have about 1,000-ish a month.
A week. A
A
month?
week.
Yeah.
You're right. So 1,000 a week times 4 for 4,000 for
Yeah.
a month.
Right. So
Times
4,000.
12, 48,000. How is that not accurate?
No.
That's the wrong column.
That's
Did you
the
say
wrong-
per month?
40,000?
No.
Absorption.
How many months?
I'm
month?
tired of
we
this
don't
game.
Have, we
Just
don't
tell
have
us the answer. I got other shit to talk about.
1.37 months supply for the full 12 months on average. 6-month rolling average was 1.2, and the 3-month average was 1.22.
Oh, you were talking. I knew that
Wait,
answer.
so because didn't you guys say that we're like just at 1 for December?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
So,
why
the
would-
whole year we actually
Pretty
have
much,
been
yeah. It
hovering
was less
under-
than 1.5 months
Yeah.
of supply for the
4 to
entire
6
year.
weeks. 4 to 6 weeks.
That's crazy.
That is
You
nuts.
know.
I didn't understand the question. I think that was the problem.
'Cause
That's
you're
why I
trying to
answered
cheat. You
incorrectly.
gotta
I didn't answer the question. I didn't
understand.
understand the question. How can I answer a question I don't understand? Well, how can I answer a question
You asked for
correctly?
clarity.
So
Well, clearly, I thought he was.
I know
Never
it's
mind.
something else.
That's pretty
It
interesting.
was my fault. So how about
Good.
average homes sold per month? How many
Average-
for the 12-month average over the entire year of 2020? How many?
47,800.
41,087.
No, this is the month-
41,087. Yes.
The average month sale.
I don't know, Tom. 4,693.
3,800.
Did I do that right?
No, you can't even read the damn thing when
I
you're
don't
right
know.
there.
You just said
really
a
can't
1,000.
see.
A
I'm
1,000.
you said 1,000 a week, which would be 4,000 a month. Correct? Is that the answer?
No,
Close?
the average homes sold per month for the 12-month average
3.2.
was 3,423.
Where the hell does that say that shit?
Close. I'm close.
Oh, it was
6 month,
the one number I didn't read.
Yeah.
I read the top and I read the right
because
below
it was
it.
highlighted.
That was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what's your 6 month? 3,800.
38.79 and 38.38 for the last 3 months. So
So can I throw a curveball? Because I don't see this on your stats there. So do you know, was the first half of the year busier or the second half of the year? Are you saying it was pretty much the same?
I don't know. That's a
I
good
got
question.
him.
But here's the thing. Well,
Bamboozled.
let's talk about this, right?
Yeah.
January and February were like we were
March,
shot out of a
April,
rocket.
May, June, July.
Right.
and
This
August.
January and
Last
February
year?
2020 was just awesome.
Was it?
And then March, April, yeah, because March, April was the 2 bad months. So if I was to guess, I'd have to say the
Check my
second
stats.
half of 2020
Was
was
better.
better than the first half.
Okay.
Educated guess there. Let me check my stats here.
Well, it's like the game shows. You got to talk it out, right? It's like on the
Let's
wall.
talk through this.
The guys in the back there doesn't know what got the question, has no clue, right? Let's talk it out.
That makes sense.
Let's talk it out. Let's talk it out. Let's talk it out.
All right. What?
It's more
I
walking
may
out,
believe
right?
you
I'm
on that
singing
one
today.
This January is a totally different story, right? Than last January, or do you think it's the same?
It's different.
Feels different.
It is different.
It is different.
Yeah.
Good different.
Yeah.
Better
I mean,
different.
on fire different.
However, oh my God, I want to talk about what I want to talk about. Hurry up. And
Okay,
finish
go
your
ahead.
stats. No. You
this-
finish your goddamn
this is
six.
this is stuff
No,
about
'cause we'll come back.
maybe
No.
what
Ooh,
buyers want.
Profile
Ooh,
of home buyers.
Yeah.
Sellers. All right,
What
tell us what
buyers-
buyers want.
Yeah, yeah.
Of
So-
realtors or just
so
like
let
in
me-
general?
Is that from the Inquirer, the Reader's Digest, or where's that from? Where's that information from? Where-
National
we just want
Geographic
Are you ready?
Association.
Are you ready?
I'm
Yes.
ready.
NAR.
Oh,
National
The
Association
National
of
Association
Realtors.
of
Got it.
Realtors.
like
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So
Tell us.
what do you think is the most wanted thing that buyers
An office.
want from realtors?
Oh, realtors.
Oh, a realtor.
What does a buyer want? What's the most thing that a buyer wants from realtors? And let me give you some categories.
Easy access.
Let me give you some categories.
Categories. I could do.
Helping
I
the
do
buyer
multiple choice.
negotiate the terms of sale.
No.
Helping with the price negotiations.
No.
Help with paperwork.
Yeah.
Wow.
Determine what comparable homes we're selling for.
Ooh.
Help
Man.
determining how much a home buyer can afford.
That's a lender.
Right? Help
Better be a lender.
find and arrange financing.
Number one. No.
Help them find the right home to purchase.
One. That's number one.
Help teach buyers more about neighborhoods or area, restaurants, parks.
I mean, that
transportation.
should be number two.
The area?
Yeah.
Can you repeat those?
Are you not supposed to say the area? Can you say it in the form of a sentence?
Can you start with the right answer and repeat them?
So,
Can you start them in order of priority?
51% of the people that were surveyed, according to NAR,
Okay. That's more than half.
right,
By
want
1%.
the realtor to help them find the right home to purchase.
Yes.
Even with all the disruptors and all that other malarkey,
Malarkey.
people still want
Okay.
realtors to help them find the right home. I mean,
right.
as much searching as they can do on the internet, because remember, you can get a pretty good idea of what the house looks like on the internet. But until you go in and smell it and feel the space and see if it really is where you want to live,
And taste it.
yeah.
Taste the air inside of a
Sensing,
home.
man.
Yeah.
That's the only way that you can really get someone to fall in love is you have to touch all 5 of their senses. Touch is also a sense. One of the 5. But they have to be able to sense with all 5 of their senses
Really?
for a home.
So if your partner doesn't taste good, they're done.
I don't know. That's usually how that works. But we're not that kind of show today.
So 51%.
51 the overwhelming
We
majority.
make stats feel like fun.
They just, they just want to make it, the right home.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
So
they
I mean,
still need us.
your iBuyer
And they're still
people.
gonna
I
need
mean, they
us.
still right. The door open doesn't really satisfy it. It's actually having somebody to take them through there and help them
Well,
realize what they want.
Buyers still want to have the accessibility and to be able to see a house, and also the speed of response from an
get it.
agent. Once they want to pull the trigger, if you're not there, you're going to be left in the dust.
What's number 2?
Well,
Can't see that.
that would be helping them negotiate the term of sale.
I would say those are top 2 priorities for sure.
Yeah, find the
Right?
house,
Find the house and
negotiate the sale, and make it, actually come to fruition. So, and
What
that's
about
where
lender?
that's where we really lose. That's where we really earn our money.
yeah, I agree.
Right? Is we help you find it, and then get you through to the finishing line of all the pitfalls that can happen buying a house during escrow. Making sure the lender does their work.
So the lender, what
I don't have to worry about that,
capacity
'cause
is
I
that on
use
the
Shelley as a
lender side
lender.
of it? What does it say for the lender side? You said help find financing.
Oh yeah, helping arrange financing only 3%.
Oh, so really,
Qualifying them only 4%. Everything else is in the single digit numbers.
number 1.
Yeah, price negotiations
Helping them.
and buying. Helping them negotiate the sale.
Okay.
Got
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
So those are the numbers. As boring
I like
as they
it.
are.
They're not boring.
They're not boring. We make them exciting.
Yes,
yes,
you
you did.
We
With a
did.
big circle and
We did.
colored and all
Yeah.
that stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah. So there is an article that talks about the weekly mortgage demands have fallen, but the size of
Yeah.
average home buyer loans have actually hit records. The average purchase loan amount hit another record high of $395,200, and that was in on the 27th, so Wednesday, 2 days ago.
Don't you think that that's
Crazy?
because our appreciation has gone up? I was talking to an agent the other day. We were talking about her, how her volume, her transaction units have stayed the same, but her overall volume for the year was higher. But appreciation, right? How much do you appreciate? 20?
That's what happens when the
Houses
median
appreciate?
price range goes up.
Right.
Everybody makes a little bit more money.
And
So
referral side of it.
Yeah, my transactions went up and my average went up.
Oh, so you
a
doubled it.
significant
Doubled.
way.
You did
You
a double
were- wow.
I
It's in and out.
because I also worked.
You can buy dinner.
I'm not taking you to dinner. It's cute though that you tried. So, what'd you say?
Why are we not getting any comment?
You're
You're next in line. Beta Max. Beta, why are we not getting any engagement on our comments today?
Because I'm here.
Maybe.
Where you at? I see all your 23 thumbs ups.
I love it.
Where are you at today? Give us a question so we can have something to talk about.
You were talking about 5G boxes.
Yes. What the heck is that about?
The 5G or the GameStop?
That's
those are
Totally different. All right, so tell me about the 5G boxes.
Oh my gosh.
That's in people's yard. That's totally different.
So, I mean, have you seen this? It looks like an air conditioning generator in the front of the house. Have you seen it?
But so what?
Wireless
Maybe so
companies
what?
are installing
Look at that.
boxes
They're
in
great.
front
It's
of
gorgeous.
homes as part of their 5G network rollout. But homeowners aren't pleased, calling the chest freezer-sized
That's what it looks
boxes
like.
a big eyesore in their front yards. I mean, work around it, people. Work around it.
I know. Put some bushes around it. Decorate it.
That thing is ugly.
Yeah,
It is hideous. It's
it
like
actually looks like
ugly.
one of those water
So is that antennas?
air conditioning.
How?
units.
Wait, so they're just sticking them in random people's yards, or people are asking for them, or it's?
I'll take one.
So
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
would
your
take
wife
one
would love
too.
that.
Remember how they used to have leases on these big old cell tower
Yeah.
sites? I mean, if it was that way, but I don't think it's the case, right?
I mean,
Let's
I
check.
have
Let me
desert
read my
landscaping.
research.
Bring it in, and
Yeah.
if it increases, and it's Verizon, so I don't have Verizon, so it doesn't matter. It wouldn't help me with my networking.
You don't have Verizon?
I have AT&T.
Wow. That's why we have those virtual issues when we're
Yeah.
watching.
That's
when
why
you're on your,
That's why she phases in and out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's either that or she's like, "Oh, I got connection issues, guys."
Wait, but that's different. I have Cox for that.
You got
Not unlimited Cox like Shelly has, like we discovered last week. But
don't tell my husband. Just kidding.
And you pay for that, don't you?
I'm not sure actually. I would get it. I just get it. Anyways, back to these ugly 5G boxes.
yeah,
So this doesn't really even help us because have you noticed because that's not Cox.
Well, you have to have a phone that does
no, that's a
5G.
cell phone.
Oh, I can't find my phone, but I did upgrade to a 5G telephone.
But then you want a
Like-
box
This is hideous to put in front. No.
so that you can get away from Cox.
It's really. It looks like an air
Because
conditioning unit.
if you had the 5G in front of your house,
I wouldn't need it.
you wouldn't need Cox.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little uncomfortable right now. I'm not sure what's happening.
Shelly doesn't like to talk about Cox. It's not her.
I hate
sorry, Mom.
internet. It's so bad. Our internet is horrible.
Oh my goodness, Bitcoin.
Hey, you guys, $25 billion, by the way, is coming in rental assistance.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about
And that's
that.
not enough.
With a billion.
not enough.
It's not.
Who
It's,
is it
we
helping?
need about 87
'Cause
to
you've got
90 billion.
You
in
have
order
a
to help.
whole year
Yep.
of rental payments that have been gone missing.
14 million Americans are behind on their rent. 14 million.
So
That's a lot of-
do the math,
$1
right?
billion.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can
14
do this
million are
All
behind
right.
in rent.
Renters could be eligible for up to 12 months of back rent and utility bills. They may also be eligible to get payments to cover future rental payments. The funds are paid directly to the landlord or
Like
utility
that.
company, which I think is a great thing because that wasn't the deal before. Here's the thing, though. Why would what?
It says landlords may also be able to apply on behalf
I
of their
know,
tenants.
as long as they get approval from the tenant. What? This is the part that frustrates me.
Yeah.
I own the house. I own the house.
Correct.
Why do I need your permission when you're renting it from me? It's my house.
Yeah.
You're living in it for free. I should be able to get that money.
Is this happening to you right
No,
now? Why
but
are
I'm
you
very
so
mad
passionate?
because I'm mad for these landlords. I'm upset for these landlords.
I
and
appreciate that.
You know, I have I had somebody ask me like, "Hey, you know, I'm getting interviewed a lot for blah blah blah. What's your take on this whole thing with landlord tenants? Like, what are we doing as a organization, as an association to help the tenants?" And I'm like,
The
I'm
tenants?
sorry, what? The tenants have been helped. Have you looked at anything that's out there? The tenants are getting help. They're just not taking it. Right? I mean, there's a lot of tenants that haven't even bought. I have a tenant right now that is nonstop harassing me for ledgers and blah, 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 blah. And why hasn't the landlord gotten chaps? And I was like, well, I'm sorry. When was the last time you applied for a goddamn program? Gosh dang program.
So it's
You
supposed to be
apply.
the
You
tenant.
apply. Yeah.
Without,
I get very, this is very,
Yeah, and without a doubt, and I'm on record for saying this, that the landlords have shouldered the burden of homes, of providing shelter
Right.
for most of the people out there during this pandemic, and it's unfair, and we get it. They needed help.
yeah.
Granted, so moratorium on having to pay rent and not get
Forbearance.
evicted. And now comes the time to have to pay back those landlords for providing that service
Yeah.
for the states and the counties and the local, municipalities that haven't had to deal with a huge vacancy of people sitting on the streets.
Correct. Right. Giving everybody
Yeah.
COVID. Well, the other thing is, whatever you want to call it, but the other thing is that even if, so the landlords are getting all this, what I'm hearing, relief because they don't have to pay their mortgage, right? They can defer their mortgage payments.
But they
They
still
can't
gotta pay
get
it.
foreclosed
Forbearance
on.
is what
They
you're
can
talking
do
about.
a forbear. Now, the problem is that anytime they initiate into these, there are fees associated with it. Who's paying those? Who is, because the tenant
Well-
isn't going to pay them. They're not going to be liable for those. The government is forcing these landlords to shelter the burden, like you said, but they're not providing any assistance. I had a landlord that applied in December for the program for CHAPS. A landlord got
Right.
denied. Just
For
got
what
the
reason?
Because there's not enough funding. No shit, Sherlock.
That $25 billion.
Huh?
Who's that $25 billion going to?
Well, that's
It's not here
coming.
yet.
That's
Oh,
not here
here
yet.
yet.
Yeah, but even that is going to get used. This is, by the way, nationwide. This isn't for Las Vegas.
Ah.
Nationally, they're giving $25 billion to 21 million or 14 million Americans that are behind on their rent.
So
and you
if
were doing the
I
math.
tried it. My calculator
Doesn't
won't
go that high?
Doesn't go that high, right? 14 million
Seems to be your problem.
at $1,200
Just
a month
touch it.
on average, times 12 is
Wait, no,
is a huge-
1,200 times 1,200 a month?
Times
That is
12. And now times 12.
Hold, please.
For 12 months.
16,800,000,000 per month.
Right. So now multiply that by
Per
12
month.
for the year.
I don't think my calculator goes that high. 201,600,000,000.
That's like more,
Zero, 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 zero,
more
zero,
nu-
zero.
proper number. Not 25
Son
billion.
of a biscuit, man.
But that's like $2 trillion, by the way.
Wow.
That's crazy. Is that
Right.
what that?
I'm
How is that
depressed.
$2 trillion?
Is 100 billion a trillion?
100 billion.
I believe
Hey,
so.
hey Siri, is 100 billion a trillion? She's like, I don't know. I'm not answering.
She's like,
that.
it's too early, V. Come
Maybe I
back
can
at
ask
11
Google.
o'clock.
Hold on. Is
Ask Google. Yeah.
100 million? No, billion. Is
100
100 billion
Equal to 1 trillion.
equal to a trillion? It depends where you live. In the American system, 1 billion is 1,000,000,000,000, and the
Zero,
trillion is
zero,
1,000,000,000,000,000,000.
So it's equal. Yeah.
So 1 trillion is
Is
1,000 times
math.
Is it 1,000 billion?
billion.
Is it 1,000 billion?
In the British system, 1 billion is, I think, give me numbers
forget
again.
that.
Yeah. So it depends on where you live.
Oh, duh.
So apparently
We're not-
here in America, it is.
So is it 100 billion or 1,000 billion?
I'm-
It's
I think
not
it's
1,000.
got to be 1,000.
I'm not
such a
talking
thing?
about this anymore.
It's got to be
I'm
1,000
done,
billion.
done talking about this.
So they're
What's
giving,
going on with your tenant? Sorry.
My tenant actually paid
Yeah,
portion.
buddy.
Portion.
Oh, a portion. Better
We're on
than
portion
nothing.
control, which is I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'll take a portion. Yeah.
At least they're showing some responsibility.
Yeah. She has applied for CHAPS. I didn't apply.
Awesome.
She did.
Good.
Or they did.
Yeah.
And that's probably the other biggest issue with the tenant landlord issue that we're having is all the tenants that were out there that got, a free pass and then didn't do anything to help.
Hold on.
Re-
Back this up for a minute. Don't ever say
Beep,
free pass,
beep,
right? Because
beep.
they still owe that rent.
Yeah.
It's not a free pass. They still owe it. I mean, a lot of them are probably going to leave and never tell us where they go,
Right.
but they still owe it, which is why I've been I've been telling landlords, you have while they're living in the property, you know where they're at, you should serve them and you should hire an attorney and talk about suing them because they owe this money.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to find them, especially when you've got tenants that are lying
Well,
and you know they're lying.
and that's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
They got this opportunity to stay in the property rent free
Yeah.
right now.
Right.
They still owe and late fees in some situations and all that kind of stuff. But why not be the responsible person and apply for the assistance that's out there so that you don't look like a complete jerk and that you're trying to game the system.
Right. So I want y'all to know that my anger right now is tainted because it's from the fact that I actually have an issue right now with a tenant who has money and has said, I'm not paying because I'm going to hold it in my account so I can be considered for a mortgage loan.
It's all going to disappear.
Which is great because I'm going to take that to court and I'm going to be like, listen, judge, they got the money. So the CDC declaration they signed saying that they don't have it goes out the window.
Right.
Like, not okay. And quite honestly, isn't that mortgage fraud?
Well, so do they need a prequel?
You do not want this person. I'm telling you right now.
Why not? They're making money and
Oh
they're
my-
saving it.
Oh my God. The emails that I get daily, sometimes 4 times a day. And it's like, why aren't you responding to me? I got other shit to do. Why aren't you responding? I got shit to do.
Well,
you are not my only priority.
Maybe
or
that's
at
not-
all a priority.
Maybe that's not the tenant for you.
Oh, trust me, it's not. Oh, trust me.
Why wouldn't you encourage them to get out?
Huh?
I can help them find their way.
Yeah.
I represent the landlord on
Let
this
them,
one,
right?
guys.
So let them go buy.
I represent the
so
landlord on this one.
They take the money and they go buy a house. Now you know, and you have Shelly do the deal, right?
So I know
now you know where they went.
Great.
And then you
So
go attach the house.
I have been
I feel
fighting
like
with
we're a
them.
little exposed right now.
That's
Just
exposed.
a bit.
That's completely exposed.
Yeah. And I can bear, I mean, my landlords are like, well, okay, so can we also include in the past due rent February? I'm like, it's not February yet. Yes, but they're going to owe it and I don't want to have to chase them. So if they're going to pay us, let's pay February. I'm like, you can't make it past due rent unless it's past due.
So come Monday.
So Monday, I can count it as past due rent.
So you'll be filing on Tuesday?
Oh, that's the
They're
thing.
filed. They're in court
filed.
already.
Yeah, we're filed. Tuesday will be the actual eviction, unless and this
So what are you evicting for? Let's talk about how tenants are getting around the whole eviction thing.
breach of contract.
And are you willing to tell the judge that you're not going to go after them for the funds so that they feel that this is
Listen.
not just a ruse because they actually owe you money, so you're trying to get rid of them?
Oh,
No, listen. The landlord the landlord is paying for obviously the HOA, the taxes, the blah blah blah. Haven't gotten a penny since August, right? They're paying also for the utilities. Now in the contract it says that the utilities are, and so the landlords look like, listen, why should I pay for your family's use of electricity and water and gas? Like you should. That's part of the contract. You should be paying me at least that. Like. I'm not asking you to pay all of it. Like you don't have to pay the full rent. If you want to, more power to you, but you have to pay your utilities per the contract. And that's a breach. And so that is not covered under any eviction moratorium because you can evict for breach of contract, just not for non-payment of rent.
Now, does the utilities after they haven't paid them become additional rent?
Well, I don't know if it
Fee.
says that in the contract, to be
Fines?
honest with you.
What
I don't remember.
happens? Yeah, that's a good question.
Usually it does.
Yeah.
Usually it becomes part of rent,
Rent.
but you treat it like it's utilities. So when we put it in, we've been treating it like utilities.
But once it's past due, it then converts to rent that hasn't
Yeah, but
been paid.
rent is considered, when you talk about rent, it's the reoccurring rent amount. And that is not utilities. In fact, because people were doing that before, they're like, well, we can add to that because you can't take. So when you have a late payment, for instance, you can't include your rent payments that used to be something else in the calculation for that 5% late payment. Similarly, you can't do that
Right.
for
Did-
this.
Did you use the
can't get
LVR
it-
contract for your property management?
It wasn't.
Your tenant?
I inherited this one.
Oh.
And I
Is
inherited
there-
this
is there a
contract.
difference?
Yeah, the LVR contract does say that past due utilities, sewer, lawn, pool becomes rent, additional rent, after it's late the next month, right?
Huh.
So that allows you to be able
But
to
the
collect
courts
it.
don't look at that
I
that
know.
way. They don't look
As
at it
rent.
that way. I feel like
What about cash for keys? No?
we
Yeah,
don't.
pay him to get out.
Can the landlord not offer
Yes.
something like that?
The landlord already is owed
I get it. That's okay.
$20,000.
But cash for keys does not necessarily negate what was owed. It's just say we're going to give you
To-
money to get the heck out.
It's to help him buy a new home.
Yeah.
Get pre-qualified. I know a great lender.
But we got to be a little bit more. We got to expand the box and think outside the box, and
I mean, that
not just
incentive-
accept it because
The people in the REO world, right? That
yeah,
these-
I did it for years.
Yeah.
You did too.
yeah.
Right.
Were you this
Maybe-
angry
maybe
when
you
you were an
just-
REO agent?
Maybe you
What?
Were you this angry when you were an REO agent trying to
No.
get your owners out of there?
No,
No.
no, it wasn't my problem.
Who's
I'm not angry. Let me be honest.
You're
I'm not
angry.
I am
You're
not
very
angry.
passionate.
I'm very passionate about this, and it's because I know this tenant is taking advantage of the system, and that should not be allowed. I feel like our courts and our system and our municipalities have not helped our landlords in any way against people like this, and that's what's bothering me.
So-
right? I feel like the system
I get it.
is broken.
But and this is, you're gonna say I can't believe this is coming out of your mouth, Tom. But for every one that's taken advantage,
There's one that.
there's 100 that are really hurting.
I get it.
So
but it's the one that's taking
I know
advantage.
that pisses you off. I get it.
and it
happens
happens
to
to
be
be
her
one
tenant.
of mine.
Right.
It's pissing
That
me
happens
off.
to be her tenant.
You know, and I think the government's done a great job of helping put a pause on those people that are not able to make their home payment because the land or the rent tenants
Yeah.
not be able to pay.
True.
It's not evict them either.
Well, I get that, but this whole the landlord can apply for the program if the tenant gives them permission.
Well,
Screw that. Seriously?
Yeah.
That's not okay. I feel like that's where we're hurting our landlords. That's where we're hurting homeowners. And quite honestly, would you want to provide a rental property right now, knowing that you could have a tenant that moves in that will take advantage of the system? I mean, I'm a little hesitant, I'll be honest.
right. Well, right now, no, I wouldn't buy a rental property or take one over or buy one. But
You've got the legislative session. And that's the other thing
oh,
that I
yeah,
was
wait
telling
until
this-
they come out of there.
Right.
Oh,
So that's
holy
the other
mackerel.
thing that I was saying is that
What will
not
that do?
only, so, when I was asked, like, what are we doing for tenants? I'm like, what are we doing for tenants? Are you kidding me right now? I go, tenants are taken care of at every legislative session that we have for the last 3 sessions, including this one. The bills that are coming out, have you seen those?
Yeah.
Goodness
yeah.
gracious.
Wasn't this the beginning of the conversation? The dark side bills?
Yep.
the
The
dark
darkness
side
of
bills.
those
The
bills
darkness
because it's
of the
going to
bills.
ruin our economy, especially the housing. The housing economy can take a huge hit if the things that the current legislators want to get passed, whether it be property taxes. Now, and speaking of property taxes, I'm all in for fixing that 3%, 8% cap thing. And there's some
There's a
additional-
gap, right?
Yeah.
There has to be something that gives.
Yeah.
I get it, right?
Yeah.
To a certain degree, yes.
But to automatically just increase the real property transfer tax or sales on services or any of the other ones is just completely insane during a time of a pandemic. Now, I get that we have a hole in the budget, but from what I understand, that hole's not that big, and they can get the money from the government, from the feds.
Yeah.
So let's not put this burden onto the citizens of Nevada. Let's put it back on where it belongs and spread it out and put it on the whole United States. So, our kids can pay for it later. Because they're throwing around trillions of dollars like it's damn candy.
Yeah.
It's like a Pez dispenser just popping the head open and
more like
there
this.
goes another trillion. There's another trillion. But it's also what's needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, so are you guys sitting in on that legislative session?
We are
Are you-
because it's not open. So
Oh.
before our lobbyists were able to go into the building and
Yeah.
actually lobby, right?
Yeah.
Now they cannot do that. It's not open to anybody. So what we're doing is we're on the legislative management team. We read the bills, we review them to see how they're going to affect our industry and any recommendations that we can provide to our lobbyists so that they can call or email or text or Zoom or whatever with and lobby for what we're asking for as an association, as the realtor party.
Bringing some more common sense to the senseless bills.
No, well, I think it's more of like somebody writes them who doesn't know our industry. And so it's
Yeah.
us explaining to them that here's how it actually works. And if here it's politics. Like we can, which I for as much as I
Really?
hate politics, I'm so engrossed in it. It's
Yeah.
crazy to me. And it allows us to explain to them how our industry works, why we're asking for those things. And hey, we can probably get behind this bill if these items are changed on this bill, right? And so ideally what they want is that this bill moves forward and gets approved, right? It actually becomes law, but they're not going to get our support. And if it's real estate related, they want our support.
Yep.
Ah, I got it. But how do
Do
they
you get it?
Yeah. How do
Okay.
they get your support if you guys are not going to be?
By writing
the bill
a
the way
good
we want
bill.
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Not
by
something that
making
kills.
making small little changes that would work. Like for instance, I'll give you an example. In 2017, there was a bill that came out that said that landlords landlords and tenants have to notarize all lease agreements.
Oh, I remember that.
Right. So I sat on that legislative management team. We talked to several property managers. We asked whatever, and so I was the property management representative on the legislative management team. So I came back to them. I said, look, and so they would listen to me because I'm the property manager that was in that group. And so I said, I can't get behind this bill, nor will I, unless they make some changes to it stating that if the property is managed by a property manager, we're already following the law,
Yeah.
right? So if it's managed by a property manager, then they don't have to get it notarized, because I feel like it adds an extra layer of stuff that we have to do that isn't required. It's sort of like I don't know. I asked for the purpose of why the bill was coming out and right. So anyway, so they made that change to the actual bill. And when they made that change, I was like, cool, let's go. And we're good in it. And then they passed it.
And if you remember what was happening back then, we had squatters
Correct.
showing up with leases saying that I actually live here.
Got
So that
it.
didn't change.
Got it. Okay.
They just went and got fake notaries.
Yeah.
But it made whoever was sponsoring that bill warm and fuzzy to
Yeah.
know that it had to be
It sounded good.
notarized.
Yeah.
I'm doing something for my
Is that still
constituents.
the case though? It's not, right? They don't have to get notarized still.
Yes.
They
So there is
do?
an actual lease agreement now. So the association has provided a lease agreement for agents to provide landlords who want to manage their own properties that have that notary section and have the requirement of the first page being double in size and blah, 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 blah.
Is
But
that
that's how
specific to
this
realtors?
matters. This is how it changed. Huh?
Like if I'm a private landlord, I
Yes.
don't recall getting my stuff notarized.
No, then you have to. You have to.
Yeah.
So that
You're
changed.
illegal.
Good to know.
And that's what I'm talking. And
Illegal.
that's exactly what I said. I said, "Do you
Who's
really
gonna know
think?"
that?
Thank you.
Yeah.
A landlord who isn't in this,
Yeah.
right? Do you think they're going to know that?
I mean, I'm
I mean,
semi in it,
who
but
sits here and
just a
reads the
tip.
bills? Who sits here and reads the law per se? I mean, I do, but I'm in the business,
Hammer
right?
time. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm off my.
I think that's
Are you
also
sure?
the reason why not
I'm gonna
everybody
breathe. I'm gonna breathe.
understands what's
So
going on.
mad today.
I know.
because I got a
God,
ticket.
started off on the wrong track. getting
No, it's a
pulled
big
over.
issue. I mean,
I
landlord
agree.
tenant stuff is going to be probably the domineering that and taxes.
Yeah.
The domineering
Property
issues
taxes.
that we're going to have, not only property taxes, but taxes, period,
Oh.
through the legislative session. And if you're not understanding what the heck they're trying to do now,
Yep.
there's not going to be time when they start, talking, because, they have 5, 6, 7 different meetings all at one time about 6 or 7 other bills. And, it's hard to keep up and keep track and know where to be able to fight or make a statement on the bill that they're trying to pass, or on the verbiage of the bill that they're going to try to pass.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important.
So how do you stand up and talk about that stuff? You have to provide. I mean, it's
So-
really your lobbyists, right? Or you as an association.
So then in the last legislative session in 2019, there was another bill that was coming about that was required. I mean, it was going to be horrible for landlord-tenant law. And so as an association, we put out a request to our membership saying, hey, you need to help us fight this. Right?
Oh, okay.
It was a call to action
Yeah, I
where they
remember
had
that.
to send emails. I mean, you were in those meetings where I was like, please do this, please do this,
Yeah.
please do it.
Yeah.
So we sent emails and letters and calls and whatnot to all of our, to everybody who makes the decisions to say, please don't pass this bill the way it's written, because if you do, it's going to be and again, we talked about this last week, multifamily versus single family is where they need, if they can just separate those two,
Yeah.
I think a lot of these issues would be resolved, and we would probably get on board with some of the stuff that they want to do, right? As a realtor association.
Yeah.
But I understand, and here's the thing: I know that that we represent even the multifamily owners, right? Most of us, some of us do. We represent multifamily owners, but I think that the majority of the bill is meant for the multifamily, but it attaches a single family. So in 2019, this bill came about, and so we told our lobbying team, absolutely not. There's no way we're going to get behind this, right? And they want our support, because if they have our support, then everybody who's making the decisions is like, oh, the realtors are on board. Okay, this is a real estate related issue, and the realtors are on board. Well, we weren't. And so what we did was we got several property managers who manage single family homes to testify in front of the decision makers.
Oh.
And so we did that here in Clark County, even though they meet up in Carson
City. Yeah.
So it was through video, right? And so several of us went there. Problem is, we only got 2 minutes to talk, right? Or 5 minutes, I think, total. And it was meant to be like 30 seconds. You think you can get your, I mean, I can't.
No, you can't even say your
can't
name in
even
30 seconds.
And your title.
Right. And where you live, like you have to tell them where you live, right?
Yeah.
So, but we all went there, and I mean, I've never seen that building packed as it was. But there were several realtors in the room, several very involved realtors in the room who were there to testify.
Wow.
And so that's how, and then that bill finally went dead. And then in the middle of the night, on the very last day of session,
I remember that.
they passed one little thing about that 5% rule, and then
I
it
do
was all
remember
whatever. Now we're living
the
with that.
craziness around that. Sales meetings were like, you have to do this.
Yeah,
now.
and it's important because those that we've elected can be unelected. And once you're elected, you want to stay elected. Right? Because it's what you want to do. You spend a lot of sweat and effort to get elected.
Yeah.
So having those call to actions and having them understand that all of these people, some your constituents that may or may not vote for you again, and other people, it's important to them, and it makes a difference.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about GameStop, because we got like 10 minutes and I want to talk about GameStop. This shit's fascinating.
So kind of whirlwind for me because I heard about it. Now it's like
I
everywhere.
got memes about it.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh my God. I'm so excited.
what are your thoughts
Your
on it?
sons actually buy from there?
So funny enough, my son told me about this on Tuesday.
Get out.
Okay, I shit you not, because it's all over Reddit and it's all over the Twitter, right? And that's
Yeah.
where it started. So I tried to research where it first began, and I could not find it. I mean, of course, you've got reports and news and blah, blah, blah. They're all sharing about it. But I believe it started with a tweet.
Yeah.
And then it moved into Reddit, right? Because famous tweets moved into Reddit. And then from Reddit, it just became a freaking phenomenon where everybody was like, let's go after GameStop. It's dying. We're gonna make it rise up again. And they went from, and everybody got their $600 stimulus checks. Okay. So every single Reddit person who got their $600 stimulus checks bought stocks of GameStop at $1.50.
But do you understand why they were buying it?
I don't give a shit, but this is fascinating.
'Cause
So
they like
did
to
it
play
in the beginning of
games?
January. Yeah, they did it to
They were
we can make a difference.
Right. Now the little guy can
Yeah.
come together and screw over Wall Street, right?
Right.
Because Wall Street was
How does-
shorting the stock.
Like the billionaires.
Oh yeah,
because everybody-
one company lost $20 billion on the short,
Yeah.
right? Because if
Who,
you
by the way, somebody in my family works for. And I was like, your company's the devil. So here's the other, seriously. So you've got, they buy them at $1.50, right? For the stock, $600 worth. And now the stock is up $300, or it was anyway, for a couple of days. They were hoping to get it to 500. And these Reddit people were like, keep on it. They're trying to short it. And so this one guy lost billions of dollars because he tried to short the stock. And Reddit people, like the Reddit folks, were like, we're going to stay strong. We're going to stand strong, blah, blah, blah. And it became this battle. And then this other big company, this hedge fund company, supported him because if he goes down, the stock market has gone to shit.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's fascinating. I went on Reddit last night and I was just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Which is why everybody's saying now go to cryptocurrency, right? Because this is a regulated.
you really wanted to get to Bitcoin, didn't you?
oh my goodness.
Because if you short a stock, you agree it either goes down to this point that you say it's going to short it to.
This
If
is
not,
the most, by the way, I've understood of stocks in my
right.
entire life.
If not, you
100%.
have to buy it at the higher price.
Correct.
So that's how they lose the money,
That's okay.
right? Because if you bought it for $2, bet it was going to go down to $1, and you shorted it, and it goes up to $3, you got to cover that short
Spread.
because you don't
Right.
have the stock yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
So even more fascinating is that, okay, have you heard of Acorn? Like you put away money for
Yep.
the winter
Yep,
type
yep,
of thing?
yep, yep.
Acorn. So what it does is you go to a restaurant, you spend $120.25, right? The Acorn app takes 75 cents and evens it out. So it makes it $126. So that 75 cents goes into Acorn. Now, users of Acorn usually invest or trade in stocks through a company called Robbin Hood. Robin Hood is taking from the rich, giving to the poor, right? It's an opportunity for someone who isn't really into stocks. And by the way, this is funny because this year I started Acorn. I got into Robbin Hood because because I've been trying to get financially stable.
Did you make a ton of money on this little?
No, because I didn't do any of that. All I did was set this shit up so that I could be in a position to take action. But I didn't know anything about GameStop until Tuesday.
Too late.
It's too late now. And here's the thing. I was talking to Tyson and Beta over the weekend about Bitcoin because we've been talking about it here on the show. So I was like, hey, I've got some money. I'm gonna pull it from my savings and we're gonna put it in Bitcoin.
I'm too old to worry about Bitcoin.
Has gone up 20% from what Tyson told me this morning.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus, because of all the shit that's going on in the stock market.
Yeah, because everybody's
I'm
too much regulation.
So blown away by this shit. What?
So
it is.
I
forgot your food.
It was $10 a coin back in 2008 or something.
So
like that.
crazy. It was
2008.
So
Yeah.
I mean, everybody
$10
knew about
it was
Bitcoin.
around then.
Yeah.
Dang.
Just started.
$40,000 a coin right now.
And it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing, folks.
It's chocolate.
It's air.
That's what I've been told.
This is the tulips.
It's
the
the
tulip
millennial
market
tulips.
of
Let me tell you.
the
So
2020s.
I did post this.
Bitcoin.
I did post this on my stories. So pandemic day 25, I made bread. Smiley face. Day 95, I sure do miss my friends. Day 310, the White House appears to be under the control of a shirtless man in a Viking helmet. Day 330, Reddit's coordinated an attack on Wall Street is going as planned.
Wait, that was yours?
That was mine. Yeah.
That's funny.
It was crazy. And then there's another one with Blockbuster. So there's Blockbuster that's dying because that was one of the things that they were talking.
Blockbuster?
Yeah. So they were talking about
thought that already
GameStop,
died.
AMC.
There's only one in Alaska.
I thought it was Oregon.
So they started with GameStop and then it was going to AMC and Blockbuster. And so the meme is, it's time to go, Blockbuster. And then Blockbuster says, F that. And then the meme says, hey, Reddit, do your thing.
But it just shows
Scary though, right?
Scary.
Yeah, it is.
The stock, I mean, they could potentially crash the stock market. How scary is that for our economy?
Well, finally, the little people have a voice. Thank you, Robbin Hood.
Well, and that's the other thing. So Robbin Hood usually goes through the hedge fund called Citadel, and Citadel, who is the devil today, has basically said we are no longer allowing you to do any trades, and Robbin Hood has stopped doing trades for the little people, and now there's a lawsuit. I mean, this all happened in a week.
I know.
Because they got shut down though.
Because they got shut down. They weren't allowed to do any more trades.
Which is why
So crazy.
your
The stock market-
cryptocurrency went up.
Yeah, the stock market's the devil. The devil.
It's all of them behind the little curtain.
But here's the thing. If the billionaires lose that kind of money, and they've got their hands in everything, right? It's going to affect our economy.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part, right?
Who's going to pay back the $1.9 trillion?
The Reddit people don't
That's
care.
$1,000 billion.
The Reddit people don't care. They're like, we're standing strong. We're going to stand against the man. You know what I mean?
It's these Gen Zs.
Against the 1%.
Oh, sorry, Beta. Sorry. That's a wrap.
Oh my God, I've talked a lot.
Bitcoin.
I've just
Not
been
worth
so
it.
crazy.
Not worth it.
You don't think so?
You don't
No,
think so?
absolutely not.
I think we're going to get there at some point.
I'll be dead by the time.
I mean,
think it'll be that long?
I mean, but here it is. What are you buying?
So I've talked to my family who is in Citadel, right, at the hedge fund. This is what they do, and they invest, and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, I don't like to gamble with my money. I'm like, but the stock market is gambling with your money, right? Going into the stock market is like gambling with your money. I mean, at some point, you got to figure it out. But the one thing that Tyson said to me this morning, which really resonated, was you can't keep chasing. What did he say exactly? Beta, what did he say exactly? Tell me. He said... See, you have to look that shit up too.
You
I'll
can't
look
keep
it up.
chasing the what?
He goes, GameStop is
curb
already
emotion.
short and you don't want to be caught chasing the huge gains. You'll get burned.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. If
right?
you've heard about something
It's
going
too
up,
late.
too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too late.
So anyways,
So you're
that's a
buying
wrap.
Bitcoin.
No, I mean Bitcoin. What is it? It's.
He's not. I am.
It's a thought.
It's faith.
People can use Bitcoin to buy homes. They can use Bitcoin to buy stuff. They can. I mean, as long as they don't lose the
There's
password.
an ATM machine
Right.
now that you can generate Bitcoin.
There are people.
It's crazy.
So you get 10 tries on
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin because when you actually get a Bitcoin, you have like this 24 word phrase that you have to remember, and
Yeah.
if you forget it, you're effed because there's no forgot password thing.
That's
right.
There's no reset.
That would be my
there's no-
password. If I forget it, I'm effed.
But that's not 24 words. It has to be 24 word phrase.
Tom Blanchard. If Tom Blanchard gets this, he's effed.
And you can't send it to yourself in email. So I'm like, what the hell? What if I die? Like, how am I supposed to tell somebody what, right?
Well,
you can't write it. You got to write it down, put it in a safe, whatever.
Just do it. Take action
There's
so you're
nothing
not
there.
part of the Robbin Hood.
There was nothing there
Sorry.
anyway, so don't worry about the password.
There are people who have lost $200 million in Bitcoin
No,
because
they didn't lose $200 million.
because they don't remember their password.
The
Oh my
perceived
gosh.
value of what they had behind the curtain was $200 million. They probably paid $20, right? So that's what it's worth.
Sounds
Is
like
the
a
20
house
bucks
almost.
that you put in there.
That's just stocks in general.
No, that's different. There's
All right. Thanks for joining us today, Tom.
Go ahead, cut me off.
That's a wrap, kids.
That's a wrap, kids. We are at 10 o'clock.
Oh,
but
that's
thank
good.
you so much for tuning in today for beta. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to
Like and subscribe.
yes, we are here on Fridays at 9 a.m. We are Real Estate Exposed, talking about most things real estate and other things that just fascinate me. Thanks so much. For
How
listening
true that
today, you
is.
guys.
Totally.
Bye.
Bye.